Have you ever seen someone with a cat-like eye or a pupil shaped like a keyhole? You might be looking at a person with coloboma, and this video will explain exactly what that is and how it affects vision. Let me start with a story. Imagine you're building a robot eye from scratch. You have all the different parts laid out: the retina, the iris, the optic nerve, and other components. During construction, there's a tiny seam that needs to close completely before the eye is finished. If that seam doesn't close all the way, you're left with a gap or hole in one of those important parts. That's essentially what coloboma is. It's a birth defect where parts of the eye didn't fully develop, leaving behind a missing piece of tissue where it should have been whole. The word coloboma comes from Greek and means curtailed or defective. It's a congenital condition, which is a fancy way of saying you're born with it. The condition is quite rare, affecting less than 1 in 10,000 births. But when it does occur, it can significantly impact how someone sees the world. Now let's talk about how this happens. During the early stages of pregnancy, around the second month, your eyes are developing inside the womb. There's a structure called the optic fissure that's essentially a natural seam running along the bottom of the developing eye. This seam is supposed to close completely before birth. However, if this seam doesn't close properly, a gap remains in whatever part of the eye was along that gap. Since the optic fissure is located at the bottom of the eyeball, colobomas almost always occur in the lower half of the eye. The type of coloboma depends on which part of the eye is affected. If the iris is affected, which is the colored part of your eye, the pupil takes on an unusual appearance. Instead of being perfectly round, it might look like a keyhole or a cat's eye. This is the most common type. People with iris coloboma might only experience sensitivity to bright light because the iris controls how much light enters the eye. Their vision might actually be quite good. If the retina is affected, things become more serious. The retina is like the camera film in the back of your eye. A gap in the retina means that area can't capture light properly, creating blind spots in your vision. The size and location of the gap determine how much vision is affected. Optic nerve coloboma is particularly serious because the optic nerve carries visual information from your eye to your brain. If that nerve didn't develop fully, the brain doesn't receive clear signals, resulting in blurred vision, blind spots, or in severe cases, nearly complete vision loss in that eye. What causes coloboma involves genetics. Coloboma can be associated with mutations in specific genes, particularly the PAX2 gene. This gene is crucial for eye development. If something goes wrong with this gene during pregnancy, the optic fissure doesn't close properly. Additionally, if a pregnant mother is exposed to certain harmful substances, coloboma becomes more likely. Research shows that children born to mothers who consumed alcohol during pregnancy have a significantly higher risk of coloboma and other eye abnormalities. Let's talk about symptoms. Someone with mild iris coloboma might only notice they're very sensitive to bright light. They might need to squint in sunny weather or wear tinted glasses. Their actual vision could be perfect. Someone with retinal coloboma might see blank spots or dark areas in their visual field. If the coloboma is in the macula, which is the center of the retina controlling detailed vision, then everyday tasks like reading or recognizing faces become much more challenging. Diagnosing coloboma typically happens during an eye examination. An eye doctor uses specialized equipment to look at the structures of your eye and can see the characteristic gaps or holes. The treatment approach depends on what type of coloboma someone has. If someone only has mild iris coloboma causing light sensitivity, tinted glasses or contact lenses might be the only treatment needed. For people with vision loss from retinal or optic nerve coloboma, low vision aids can be incredibly helpful. These might include specialized glasses that magnify images, electronic magnifiers, or software that enlarges text on screens. In rare cases where coloboma leads to complications, surgery might be necessary. If you found this video helpful and you want to learn about more eye conditions, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell.